For the last couple weeks and for the next few weeks, we're going to have different people who are challengers for city offices running. If you want to be on the show, pieandcoffee@gmail.com, or the phone number's on the website. Contact us. We want you to be on. Also, if you are an actual incumbent and you're able to come at us in an unexpected angle, which Kate did, you can also be on the show. It's a challenge to you people. And so we have Kate Toomey on the show today. We want to take the last 10 minutes or so to talk to her about running for city council again, and now running for the mayor. So, Kate.
Hi.
Hi. Now the sun is coming out.
That's right in my eyes. I'm going to be blind.
It's good for lighting, though.
Okay.
Just don't blink too much. So I wanted to ask you first. I wanted to ask you first. Why are you? I guess why should I vote for you? That's the first question.
I think you should vote for me because I've been in office for 10 years. I've got a record. I think people know who I am. They know that I am extremely dedicated to the city of Worcester and to its people, and that I will work extremely hard to do everything I can to move Worcester forward during these very difficult times that we're going to be facing, I think, probably since the Depression. The most difficult times.
And let me ask you, why are you running for mayor this time?
And I'm running for mayor because I truly feel that the style of leadership that we've had is not appropriate for the types of things that we're going to be going through. I don't think we've had any leadership. I don't think that we've had someone who can bring people together and talk about issues. And look, agreeing on the floor is one thing. Being able to work with people behind the scenes to get things done is another, and that's not happening.
Do you think that you've proven your ability to do that in the past?
I have, and I think the best way, the best example is when I was able to work with other school districts throughout the state to change the charter school formula, which resulted in a savings of $15 million over the past 5 years for the Worcester Public Schools. I reached out, my colleagues weren't interested in, at the time weren't interested in dealing with other school districts, and I was told that, oh, you'll never be able to get this changed, no one will want to do it, and I just said, well, it needs to be done, let's do it, and I engaged some other people in other school committees that I knew and created a statewide coalition. That's what we're going to need to do as a city, and as a mayor, I think that's one of the roles that should be out there. I think the mayor has not, I think that the reality of it is that welcoming people and having tea parties and those types of things are nice. Cutting ribbons are nice, but there's a lot of need to that needs to be done here in the city, and I think that people need to work a little bit harder, a lot harder actually, in trying to bring revenue into the city. And I'm not saying that there should be a partnership between the mayor, the manager, and the council, and all working in concert to bring business in to the city, and I'm not seeing that happen.
So the other thing besides being the, and correct me if I'm oversimplifying here, the mayor does two things, or has two primary roles. One is as the public face of the city, even though the mayor is not, quote, in charge. The mayor is the mayor.
Right. And
so that plays into things like economic development, like you said. The other thing is, as the chair of the council, person who runs the meetings. Would you run the meetings any differently than they've been being run?
I think so. I think that there have been some times where people have gone a little over the edge, and they shouldn't have been allowed to do so. I think that the mayor has not been as open to listening to the public as she should have been. This is a public forum, and when people come before the council, very often people are very anxious about speaking in public, and
you expect results.
And they
what?
And you expect results.
Yeah, you do expect results, but I think that when people come to speak on an issue, and they're told, well, too bad, we're not going to listen to you, then there's a problem with the whole process of government. And I can remember going to hearings at the State House where essentially, you were heard. If you were there, you were heard. And whether we have to start our meetings a little bit earlier and have a public comment beforehand, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know how my colleagues feel about it, but we'd certainly have to come up with some consensus. But the point is that we're supposed to be there for the people, not for ourselves, not for our convenience. We're supposed to be there to listen to people. So.
Do either of you guys have a question or a comment?
I got a comment.
What's that?
I think the other thing too is that Well, actually, I have two comments. I think that
How about just do one comment because we're running low on time?
Well, I just think that I just will comment on one thing, that I think that the police has in Worcester work more about people crossing the road, because cars just keep going 40, 70 miles an hour. It's like when you're trying to cross the road, and there's several times where people want to curse you out and whatever, and I'm like, go ahead and run me over. I mean, you're the ones going to be paying that big time, not me. And
You know, they did kind of a sting operation about that a few months back, maybe last year, and I don't think it actually impacted anything, unfortunately. I was going to ask Brendan, do you have a question or a comment?
My question is a little bit more abstract, but if there was one thing that within like current budgetary constraints that you were either as mayor or just as a councilor, which I guess one and the same for these purposes, but if there was just one thing that you could see from, like an idea that you could see from conception all the way to enactment in the city, like what is the one big thing that you would love to be able to wrap your hands around and shuttle through? If like a get out of jail free card that nobody's going to interfere, and again, like within normal budgetary constraints, not like free soda for everybody.
Well, it's actually, Brendan, something that you and I have talked about, and that I'm struggling with trying to figure out a way to get funding for. Attracting and retaining our younger generation, our young people. And I think that Worcester is an aging city. Our population that is just, we're aging, and we're not bringing a lot of young people here and retaining them. We have 30,000 college students that come through, for 4 years, and then a lot of times most of them are gone. I'm very fortunate that my kids all ended up going to college here. And my daughter graduated from WPI as a civil. I'm very proud of all three of my children, but she's doing well too. And she bought the house next door. And this is a kid who never thought that she wanted to stay in Worcester. And one of the things that she says to me is that, first of all, Mom, people don't understand what we have here. Worcester, we have to educate ourselves, but about what great opportunities that we have here. And the other thing is that she says that it's hard for her to meet people her age, and she doesn't know where to go to meet them, other than in a bar, social scene type thing.
Sure.
And so we've talked a couple times about a program that I've actually filed an order on to establish a virtual community, as well as along with that there would be an advisory group to the council, a mayor, and engage that populace in government and listen to them and bring them in and say, look, you guys have seen things with different eyes. I'm an older generation already. I mean, I hate to admit this, but I'm 51, and hope that they like the fact that I'm going to be working with them, because I am a few years older. But the bottom line is that we need to reach out and think about things that we're not doing now. And that's not going to cost a lot of money to do that. It really isn't. And I think that when we can pull people together and get them to understand that they can make a huge difference in this community, we energize that community. And I think that we stabilize it. And that's also a great tool to say to a business, look, we've got all these young people staying here, bring your business here, And also to foster entrepreneurship. That's one of the things that the Boston group is doing. They have an entrepreneur program, and I think we have several in the city.
We have to cut you off there.
All right.
Our time is up. Thanks for watching the show, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Thanks to Kate. Thanks to Bruce.